I googled literally everywhere. I looked on YouTube, I looked on Reddit, I googled in all sorts of weird, wonderful places, and I could not find an equestrian YouTuber tag anywhere. So I made one of my own. It's Mel here and welcome back to Mel's Blind Life, the YouTube channel all about blindness, and welcome to the first equestrian related video that I've done for almost 2 weeks. I am so sorry I've been so quiet on the YouTubes the last couple weeks. I went away, then I had university studies, then I had an ear infection and couldn't hear for a week. So anyway, I'm back on board and I'm going to bring you this equestrian tag, which I have literally just developed myself because I wanted to talk to you guys about my horse and my horse riding experiences. I googled literally everywhere. I looked on YouTube, I looked on Reddit, I googled in all sorts of weird, wonderful places, and I could not find an equestrian YouTuber tag anywhere. So I made one of my own. It has, well, really 9 questions, but 10 questions if you include the last one, which is a pretty dodgy one. So here it is. Yes, that's correct, a blank piece of paper. If you are new to this channel, I am completely blind. I have no eyesight whatsoever. I can't even see that there's lights on in this room, which I know there are because I literally just went out and turned all of the light switches in my living room on because I don't know how to get the best lighting. So I just turned them all on because I figured the brighter the better, right? Anyway, the equestrian YouTuber tag I have written here in Braille. I will obviously write the questions down in the description down below. So if you feel like doing this tag, go check the questions out. So let's get started. So the heading is Equestrian YouTuber Tag. Get to know my horse and I. Question 1 says, when did you start riding? Who, what, when, where, and how? So I'm just going to go off my first memory of riding. And this was actually when I was probably about 6 years old, maybe 5 or 6 years old. I went with my mum to a group for people who were blind or had low vision. I think this is a very long time ago, so I'm trying to remember it accurately. We went with a group of people who were blind or had low vision, and we went trail riding in a place, I don't know exactly where it was. I just remember we had to get the train to the city because we were traveling into the city from, I think it was my grandma's house, and I knew what station we had to get off at, and I told my mum by looking out the window, because I did have a little bit of sight then and she didn't. I remember telling my mum by looking out the window that we were at the correct station, and she basically didn't think we were, so we ended up getting off at the wrong station. And yeah, so I was probably about 6 or 7 when I did that first trail ride that I can remember. I probably had ridden beforehand, but that was the first one that I can actually remember. I rode from memory, I think he was a black pony called Troy, and we did that a few weeks in a row. I can't remember how much we did it, but that was basically when and everything I did my first riding that I can remember. So question 2 says, what was the name of your first pony club horse? So, oh gosh, I did pony club when I was probably about 8 or 9 years old. We had a German Shepherd dog that we sold to actually the mother, I think it was, of the lady who owned this pony club that I rode at. And the first horse that I rode there was I think he was a grey called Snowy or Snow or something to that effect. And I was about 9. So question 3 says, describe your perfect dream horse. Gosh, so my perfect horse, according to my ex-riding instructor, is and the only reason she's ex is because she isn't where I live anymore. I've moved away. According to my riding instructor, my perfect horse would be a 10-year-old schoolmaster gelding with Clydesdale or something like that in him, about 14 to 15 hands. So that's my perfect horse, judging from my riding instructor. But my perfect dream horse would be probably a Australian stock horse. Definitely chestnut, probably with a white blaze down his forehead and 2 white socks on his back legs. And he would be called Sirocco. That is actually the horse that is in, or one of the horses that is in my favourite Australian TV drama, McLeod's Daughters. And if I had a horse that looked like Sirocco, then that would be my dream horse. And he'd be probably 14 to 15 hands again, because that's all I can handle, because I'm short and I'm fat. So I don't really want a big horse. So question 4 says, do you currently have a horse or pony? If so, what is its/their name, age, breed, and colour? So currently I have one horse. I have a 11-year-old, 11.5-year-old standard bred off the track pacer. So she's a standard bred mare. Her name is Maggie, Maggie, and she is actually named for Maggie Doyle, who is a character in one of my other Australian dramas that I love, Blue Heelers. So Maggie is my horse at the moment, and she's a bay mare. I'll link in the description down below, of course, my equestrian playlist, so you can see Maggie. So she's a bay mare. She's got, the white, tiny bit of white on her forehead between her eyes. She's got little kind of chestnutty flecks all through her body. She's got a black mane and tail, black legs, and she's got a white sock on her near hind leg. So that is my girl. So question 5 says, what discipline or disciplines do you ride? So a lot of my training that I've done and experience that I've had since I sort of went back to riding after I lost most of my vision, I went back to riding now 5 years ago. So a lot of the riding experience that I've had since I went back has been dressage, and I think that dressage is probably going to be the main discipline that I focus on now. It's too dangerous for someone who is completely blind to jump. I certainly don't think I could do cross country either, because that's too dangerous, and I couldn't do anything like stock work or anything like that. So definitely dressage is the safest for someone who is completely blind, and I think it's probably going to be my main discipline for the rest of the time that I ride, which will be at least 20 years because Maggie's only 11. So question 6 says, what is the funniest thing your horse has ever done? Okay, it wasn't my horse, but one of the horses at my previous riding school, he used to follow you around like a giant 17-hand warm blood dog. He was the cutest guy. He just followed you everywhere you went. If you didn't want him in the riding arena, you literally had to shut him out. He was an absolutely gorgeous horse, and he used to do funny things like walk through the people door, or try to walk through the people door of the barn. He used to sort of come into the barn if he was often free in the main sort of area of our stables. So we had like the arena and the barn, and then we had the laneway where all the paddocks were, and he used to sort of sometimes hang around just free in the area near the barn and stuff. So if you were taking up your horse for a lesson, sometimes he would come into the barn and you'd turn around and he'd be like, hey, I'm here too, can I have a brush as well? And you know, he used to do really funny, cute things like that. So he was absolutely hilarious. But as for Maggie, the funniest thing she does is when she was at her first property that she was at when I first was spending time with her, if you bought a bale of hay into her paddock and took it across to her shelter, because she didn't have like a feeder or anything like that in her paddock near the gate. She just had her shelter, and that was where we used to put her hay. But you had to carry the hay from the gate across to the shelter. And if you've seen some of my earliest vlogs, you will have seen that adjustment that I'm talking about. And if you didn't tie her up, or you know, if someone didn't hold her while the hay was being carried in or anything like that, she used to walk along beside you and snatch mouthfuls of hay off the corners of the bale as you were carrying it to her shed. So that was probably one of the funniest things that she has ever done. So question 7 says, what is the bravest thing that your horse has ever done? This is really difficult because Maggie hasn't really had to do anything brave yet, and I touch wood that she never has to do anything brave to like save me from anything. But I think the bravest thing about Maggie so far is that she can be trusting. She has had a history of neglect. She has had a history of being passed from person to person to person. She is actually quite a green horse. She actually isn't broken in fully. We're breaking her in at the moment. So she's a very green horse. She's been abused and neglected, and she's an ex-pacer as well. And I mean, I'm not saying that she was treated badly, but you just don't know exactly how horses in those sorts of places were treated. So I think the bravest thing about Maggie is that she, despite all that, is still trusting, and she still, is comfortable with people, and she still loves people. She is very selective about the people that she does love, though. She is a little bit wary of strangers, And if I go to the stables with my support worker or a friend or anything like that, I have to make sure that they are actually out of Maggie's sight before I try and catch her, because she is difficult to catch for someone who she doesn't know or trust very well. So once she's caught, she's fine, but she does have a few issues, trust issues with people she doesn't know very well trying to catch her. So I think that's the bravest thing about her so far, is just that she's so trusting, and she still loves...
Messages, sharing line, messages, no, sharing line, well, that's what I thought. Did you go for Greenwood last night?
She still loves the people that she loves. Sorry about my phone talking in the background there. Yeah, she still loves the people that she loves, and she still trusts the people that she trusts. And I think that's pretty brave for a horse that's been through all the things that she's been through. So question 8 says, briefly describe the first time you fell off your horse. Okay, so I'm gonna describe the time that I fell off since I went blind, because riding when I was little and had low vision is completely different to riding with no vision, and I will talk more about riding with no vision than with low vision. So I actually did a video about this quite a while ago, but basically the first time I fell off my horse since I went completely blind was really dumb. I was learning about the letters in the dressage arena. So you know how it has all the letters around the outside of the dressage arena. There's actually a little rhyme that you can remember those letters by. And this day during my lesson, my instructor was teaching me all about the letters and how you remember them, whilst I was riding my horse around the arena. It wasn't Maggie, it was a different horse, obviously, because Maggie's not broken in. I was riding the horse around the arena. My instructor was telling me how to remember the letters, and keeping an eye on things, and I just wasn't concentrating on what Lily was doing. And the next thing I know, at a walk, guys, the next thing I know, I'm on my bum on the ground, and Lily's standing there like above me going, well, what are you doing down there? I still to this day don't actually know what made me fall off. She didn't spook or anything like that, but one minute I was on her back and the next minute I was on my bum on the ground. So that was the first time I remember falling off my horse since I went basically completely blind. I only had light perception then. So question 9, which is the last real question, says, what are your riding goals and dreams? Well, to be able to ride my horse for a start would be really good right now. I've had Maggie for nearly for 10 months, and just over 10 months, like 2 days over 10 months I've been working with her, and I haven't ridden her yet. So I mean, just to be able to ride her will be fantastic. But apart from that, I would like to be able to do start doing a few video dressage competitions with Riding for the Disabled Australia. I probably won't be able to participate in Riding for the Disabled at an actual centre because we don't have one here. I don't drive a car because I'm obviously completely blind, and it's 2.5 hours drive to my nearest Riding for the Disabled centre. So I probably won't be able to do actual Riding for the Disabled at a centre, but I would like to do video dressage competitions and sort of some of their virtual stuff that they have. I'd also just like to be able to have the confidence and the training in my horse that I can, you know, put a saddle on her and go and ride down by the river with friends. We have, we're on a very beautiful river here, and there are some places that you can ride right up by the river, and I would love to just be able to ride her down by the river and to do that sort of thing. So not, you know, not massive goals. I know that I will never, you know, be one of those fantastic people who get into the Olympics or whatever, and I don't want to do that. I mean, if I can just do a couple of little competitions here and there and just enjoy my horse, and that's really what I've got her for. So they are my riding goals and dreams and hopes, and as I say, just to get on the horse will be a miracle in itself. So question 10 says, which is the last one, who do you tag next? And to be honest, I don't know, because I mean, I would love to see this Esme do it, but hey, here I am at 345 subscribers, and as if this Esme is going to watch my videos. But hey, I might tag her in the Instagram post and see what happens. So I'd love to see this Esme do it. I'd also love to see Han Equestrian do it, who is an Australian equestrian YouTuber. So just anyone really. I would love to see this take off, because as I said, this is I haven't seen a tag for equestrians on YouTube. So anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed the Equestrian YouTuber Tag. If you've got any more questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. Also, remember to check out my Blind Equestrian playlist, which I will link down below. And I will also link some information to a couple of things that I referenced, McLeod's Daughters, Blue Heelers, and a few things like that. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
20 minutes, 49 seconds.